Like, this is just the start of a lot of things. Like, this trade has written all over it, like, this is something to help us make a larger deal in the coming weeks or coming months.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They didn't trade Kapanen for anything, for any big piece back. They got that first rounder, a young guy like you say that's a couple years away, and some cap space.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
if you're not in a rebuild, if you're in a win now, this is the first of several moves.
Yeah, perfect scenario. And they have guys that can step in and play, like, fill Kapanen's spot. They've got a ton of how many Kapanen? Okay, Kapanen's got speed, but like literally how many Kapanens does that team have?
They have a ton of skilled wingers. What they need is defensemen.
Yeah, and that's coming. But
out there.
Yeah, there is. They got this Barbanov guy. What's his name? Alexander Barbanov or whatever. The Russian. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So he's coming in. I don't know if he plays right or left wing, but I mean, without a Johnson going out or a Kapanen, or, you know, if they re-sign Spezza and Clifford, like, they got to make room for some new bodies, because guess what? Like, the core is probably not going anywhere. So you're going to have to change up some other things. Like, for getting the first round pick, who's to say they might use that pick and pick a player, but they could use that pick to make another deal at the draft, or just now they have a first round pick in play. How many teams would love to? I can't even believe that they did, like, he was able to get that in the deal. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it seemed, like I said, that's a big haul for Kasperi Kapanen.
Big time.
Like, getting the first, I could see getting the cap space and a prospect and maybe a second rounder. But to get the first round in what they're calling a very deep draft, like 15th overall is a pretty good pick.
Sure.
So
I'm not convinced.
I'll give Dubas credit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not convinced that they use that pick and actually pick a player. I wouldn't be surprised if it's involved in another deal to bring, like, do they want to, like, I know they haven't had a lot of picks and all that, but like, you pick fifth, like, you pick that, you're not going to see that guy for 4 years, 5 years, and you might never see him. You might never see him. So I parlay that pick into something else that's going to help them now. Would you not?
I think it depends. If there's a player that they have their eye on, that they really want, that's better than anything you could get in a trade.
I don't think that yeah, you can get a good guy at 15, but you're not going to know what he is for 4 or 5 years.
It's like when they had the second round pick, they probably could have traded it, but they held on for Nick Robertson because they thought Nick Robertson was a steal at that number.
Fluke, for sure.
So maybe there's someone that falls to 15 where the Leafs scouts have him top 5 or something like that. So they make the pick. But
maybe
if there's nobody there that really is in that category, then, you know, fuck it.
You don't see that Nick Robertson situation play out very often. Almost never. Not that soon anyway. Not they picked him and then the next year he fucking led the OHL in scoring. Like, that just doesn't happen very often. But
it was good pick.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, maybe they do. But maybe they do.
Do any of the other guys on the Leafs that went with Kapanen? Did you think when you first read the trade, like, you texted me and then I went on Twitter and I read it. First glance, I thought it was Liljegren.
Oh yeah, no. Well, then it would have been something probably.
Yeah, but did you not think that when you saw it said defenseman Lindgren, and I was like, oh, it's Lindgren.
No, Liljegren would have been too much to give in that. It would have been. I like it just the way it is, because the other guys probably never going to play for the Leafs, and, you know, Kapanen, like we said, like, I like Kapanen, but you can't fall in love with these guys at this point. You got to make moves that are going to help the team. Like, they need to get over this, whatever it is they can't get over, and start putting some different guys out there that can help them push this thing forward. So not to say that Kapanen, like, somebody's got to go. Like, this is just the first of many things to come. He's the first domino to fall. But trust me, like, there's a lot of other things that are going to happen here. Like, who knows, right?
We don't know. This kind of came out of left field. I wasn't expecting anything.
Not this soon. It didn't come out of left field for me because, like, you kind of knew.
The way Jimmy Rutherford came out swinging at his press conference at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He may have initiated this.
Yeah, true. Oh, maybe he did. Like, if you're Dubas, as soon as the first round draft pick gets put on the table, it's done right there. Deal's done. Okay, let's do it. Because you're not getting that from any other team. You're not getting it 100%.
And not having to retain any salary or anything like that. So you're freeing up the entire I think he makes 3.2.
3.2. Yep.
So you're freeing up the entire 3.25 million, and you're getting a first round draft pick. Boom. Everything else is like getting the 20-year-old centerman from Sweden. That's just gravy.
Yeah,
that's 100%. Just a cherry on top.
Yeah. Yeah,
good
so
job.
It's great. Yeah, great. I think he did a great job clearing the cap space, like we said, and getting the first round pick. I just think it's huge, and we'll see what happens next. But I'm impressed with Dubas today. I mean, he was due for a win. Fucking all this shit about Kadri's been playing in the playoffs. He hasn't looked so great this round against Dallas, but man, like just the last round, he was killing it, right?
Yeah, it's salt in the wound.
Oh yeah.
After the season Tyson Barrie had.
Yeah.
I heard Darren Dreger talking about Tyson Barrie being a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Free agent, saying there are tons of teams that are super interested, and it may be a bidding war to get him. I don't understand it.
Knock yourself out.
I don't know.
Knock yourself out.
Maybe he just had an off year, and next year he'll be whatever. But they lost that trade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
Would have been nice to have Naz on the team.
Yep, for sure. But whatever. Like, what are you gonna do?